Okay, hello. I'm gonna go. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Little Ones podcast, season 4, Live with Lex. We had a bit of a 30-minute period where I didn't realize I underestimated how many questions we would have, and we had to do some technical updates. And we are waiting for Anna, who just landed, and she'll be here shortly, but we seem to be streaming live. So I love all the questions. I love all the interaction. I just want to make sure I get to them. And I'm so sorry. I hope that you can bear with me for a second while we get Anna on, and we can also make sure that this does not disconnect, because you know how I hate that.
It's just me right now.
No, here she is. She's here. She's walking. Where did she go? How do I do this? Oh no. Oh no. Where'd she go? Technology really does you dirty lately. That's the whole thing. Come back. It's like Daniel. Okay, Daniel, show your face so everyone knows that you're here too.
It's
Trying to
just us
help me
here right now.
It's just us. We'll just show your face.
What does this do? Oh, I guess she left. Still just me on the live right now.
I don't believe that.
That's what it says.
Oh, I do believe it's running. Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Little Wins podcast, season 4. We, as you may have heard, had an influx of, how do you even describe it? Like just people, just all of you and your superpowers shut down super systems and on a massive influx of questions. So thank you for that. I'm in shock. Anna also is landing in an airplane right now, so she's going to be on in a second. But that's our guest. Anna is our guest. You didn't know that. I just blew the cover. Blew it right off. I am constantly baffled by the following and the support and community around a concept I had. So sorry if I'm speechless, but you got me speechless. You did it. Yeah, you did. Today we are gonna have a conversation with someone who is very near and dear to me, who I rely on in life, and she's a psychic. Like the psychic, actually. Like the psychic. And I have Danielle over here. That's who I keep looking at. He's over here. Danielle, show your face. So they just yeah. Hello.
Hey. If anyone is watching has questions, write them down below.
Yes, please do. Because the influx of questions, I want more. I love them. Can we turn this away from me? Anyways, Anna has been a confidant of mine and almost like a surrogate mother, and someone who tells me sometimes things I don't want to hear. Right? Like the answers you didn't want to hear. But I thought when broaching a topic that's come up so many times in conversations and also affected someone else who's very close to my heart, his friend or another loved one, depression. Yeah. So before you click off, I think there's a lot to be heard here. The more I researched, the more I felt like I was going to faint, but the more important it became. Maybe more important than any other conversation I've ever had with anyone. And that's why I reached out to Anna. Because how do you start that conversation? How do we broach it? I think a psychic. That's where my head was at. So when she hops on, we're gonna get down to that. But depression. I think the more I learned, I'm always buried in paper, like all the paper, all the things that I've read. The more I wish I didn't know, because it hurts so much. I realized even further that we don't talk about it enough. We're not talking about it. And that in itself is a humongous problem. It also jogged a memory of having a conversation with a couple of our therapists for one of my kids about identifying feelings. And it was such an epiphany to have in my 30s. Oh, so it's okay to say you're feeling sad. It's okay to say you're feeling mad. Like identifying those feelings. So I did that for each kid, especially during tantrums. I don't know if is there anybody out there, you got a kid with tantrums? I have a few. Saying, I can see that you're frustrated and giving them that. I remember being a kid too. I can see both sides of it. I remember being a kid and being like, what is this that I'm feeling? Just a massive eruption of feelings. What is this? And sometimes it's rage, sometimes it's sadness, and also anger. But being able to express that verbally, I think, has been really important for me personally. So I wanted to say that on the topic of depression, because we are not talking about, we're going into lines at Starbucks and saying, I'm good, how are you? But are you really? I am living for the moment when someone responds back with, like, you know what, actually, I say, hi, how are you? And they say, my kid was up all night. I'm exhausted. I'm just going through the motions. How are you? Or whatever. I don't even care what it ends up being, but tell me the truth. I'd like to crack that wide open. And then maybe we can talk about the times where you feel isolated or you feel like you're alone in an emotion, because you're not. There's only so many that you can have. You're not alone. If you strip us all down, we feel the same things. Take everything else away from it. We're feeling the same emotions. We're just not talking about it. So we like to talk about these things. I am going to try to find Anna really quick, but I got all the other questions. Do we have new ones? Oh, it's so quiet. Guys, come on.
Is she having trouble joining?
Ask me a question. While I find Anna really quick. What is this?
That's how you do the intermission. You could play that.
Okay. So, and wait, are we? Oh, hello. Wait, is that live too?
Didn't you say?
Yes, it's all the forms of terrifying. I just want you all to know that I'm willing to put myself in these positions that are deeply uncomfortable, just to make it so that maybe we can talk about it, because then I can say I tried. So, on the topic of depression, after we already discussed, we don't talk about our feelings enough. It's okay to say you feel this way, you feel that way, instead of acting out, or instead of like maybe feeling as though you're alone entirely, in that you're not. There's like, how many emotions are there? Like 12? Like, if we mix some of them, there's not that many. You're not alone. I myself, raise your hand. I'm going to do it. Okay. because we already said I throw myself into the fire first. Have you ever been angry? Have you ever been sad? Have you ever felt frustrated? Have you ever felt disappointed? Yeah. Have you ever felt alone? You're not alone, is the point. And when talking to one of my closest friends who lost a friend to depression recently, after many conversations we had, or even call-ins, info box, all that stuff, love them, keep them coming. It's a topic that's been brought up many, many times. I did not want to broach it. I'm not going to lie. I was very tentative. I still am, because nobody wants to. See how it takes the wind out of my chest? So let's all take a deep breath. And let's try again. That's what I'm going to do. The statistics that I was reading today are startling. We are not fine. And that's why we have to discuss these things. Ask your questions. I won't air your name. I promise. If you don't want me to, we have to dispel the anxiety. We have to come back to each other and realize that if you are someone who has cancer, you're not alone. If you're someone who has a disability, you're not alone. If you're someone whose heart is beating and you're just trying to get through your life and it's hard, you are not alone. So the social media component of depression that I was reading in this beautiful, thank you Forbes, I read all of them. Those topics, the headlines of the things I read today: U.S. depression rates reach new highs. Nearly 1 in every 5 U.S. adults have been diagnosed with depression. The vast majority of 18 to 24. All right. That's why we need to talk about it. And just give each other a very big hi. Hello. Welcome here. Let's air it. Somebody's got to. I don't know why it's me today, but I'll happily do it if it helps even just one person. You know? Or if you're all going to stay like crickets, we're going to answer the questions in a minute that flooded our system and made it so we were delayed again. Just take it. Oh, wait, hold on. We have waves from over here too. Hi. For those who are catching up, we were waiting for Anna to hop on. She just landed in an airplane. Air travel, I love it, but sometimes we're delayed. I'm talking about depression today because it's affected a lot of people I love. And I feel like the hardest part of this conversation for me, Daniela, you're going to have to weigh in on this one, was that there were so many moments when we were talking about it that I said I felt like there were many times in my life where I really wanted to be depressed. I really did. Hurt like hell. The things that happened, or it was so hard that I wanted to stay in bed. Yeah, for sure. I, fortunately and unfortunately, however you view it, was not able to. I wasn't given the opportunity to think of just me in those moments. And there were different ways that I handled it. For me personally, like the whole hand raising Have you ever been mad? Yeah. Take all that energy and funnel it into something that I really love to do, or something that I believe in, and to try to help other people any way I can has been the most healing thing. That, like, that's the medicine for me, is to try to help others. I don't know if that's right or wrong, indifferent. I don't care. The point of it is I have to keep going. And the first step is always to talk about the hard things. We're going to talk about hard things. Hi, look at all the waves. Hello. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. I want to see your questions on the topic of depression. If you have any, we have a lot that we can cover if we need to. But let's get to a couple really quick. Do you feel like, Daniela, do you feel like we covered like why we're doing this?
That's
Okay.
a good intro.
We got it?
For Anna, too.
Okay, cool. So let me go to that. I did learn something in my research, and whenever we do a podcast, I spend a lot of time researching the topic outside of my own personal experience, because I always want to be able to be helpful. Otherwise, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This I thought was really interesting. So I learned that the area of the brain that processes pain is adjacent to the areas responsible for regulating emotion. When you suffer from emotion dysregulation, like depression, I don't like that they call it dysregulation, because I do feel like that's also like, it's just a human feeling. Anyways, so when you suffer from emotion dysregulation like depression, our pain receptors are turned on pain signals. So it's signaling your brain that you're in physical pain. You're not alone in that. But I think awareness always helps. If you just know that simple scientific fact, knowing that what you're feeling is because of this is how it works in your body, could maybe possibly be helpful. I thought it was interesting. Our first question that we really need to get to, Richard from Michigan. His son entered the military and has been bullied. Bullying in general. This is an issue. And it goes back to what I was saying about not being able to identify feelings. I feel scared. Has anybody else felt scared? Hello, I have. I'll raise my hands first. Look, it's both hands. Has anyone felt scared? Felt like they weren't good enough? Felt like they couldn't do it? Felt like they should quit? These are things, driving forces behind that kind of behavior, and not being able to identify what people are feeling from my experience or from my research is funneling so much no towards the energy of just making other people feel bad. We really need to talk about that. That's why I think at the core, it's just knowing what you're feeling, and knowing you're not alone is number one. The military, this is why I wish Anna could hop on, because I don't know a whole lot about that, but I know a lot about bullying in general. I hate bullies. I think everybody knows that. Right, Daniela? Like, yeah, no. That's not the way. We will revisit the military part as soon as she hops on. But Richard from Michigan, I'm really sorry that's happening. I think reinforcing what we've already discussed and just the providing, I'm thinking about myself, like what I would want in that moment to the best of my ability. You just want to know that you're safe there to feel whatever you can tell. He can tell you whatever he needs to, and that it's a safe place to feel and discuss. And then after you recoup from that, come up with a game plan and go from there. But definitely report it. Just report it. Daniela, can you hop on so I'm not like alone in this? It's so awkward. Report that. Hate bullies. Not a fan. Talk about your big feelings, you big bully. Okay? Go away. Stop doing that. Lisa from Chicago. Oh my God. Daughter is anorexic and therefore depressed. Oh my God. All right, without Anna, I'm gonna do this from my own experience too, I guess. It makes me so sad. I've always felt like no one believed me when I said I love your body. I love you just the way you are. Literally, I do though. Like I do, and no one wanted to accept that as truth. That's another challenge, but I don't want us all to look the same. Gross. Yuck. Yikes. Please don't do that. There is no right, wrong way to do it. Just do it. Be you and be bold and like love that, but you have to teach it. So I have 4 kids. I have 3 girls. I was gonna say 3 daughters, but I have 4 children. But we're talking about Lisa from Chicago. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for asking. Thank you. I wish I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm just another person. But I've always found that eating with my kids is helpful. That body positivity, I got all kinds of scars after having 4 kids. I'm proud of each and every one of them. I earned those. Flipping that. We didn't, in my age group, I don't know about you, Daniela, but we didn't get that education as children. It was not like you earned that. It wasn't like you have this ability, celebrate it, own it, live in it, accept it, and enjoy it. It was just like, maybe don't showcase all of your flaws. Well, I don't see them as flaws. And maybe I'm different. I don't know. Oh, we have questions over here too. My gosh, hi guys. Oh, hi. Does anybody understand? Am I making any sense? Like, I just want you to know that not like it's not a flaw. I don't feel like mine are flaws, but by the only thing I can do, Lisa from Chicago, is own what makes me uncomfortable about myself in front of my kids and to myself, and say, you know what, that's what it is, and it's mine, and keep going and show by example that as not a doctor, I don't know what else without Anna we could say about anorexia, because I don't have personal experience with that, but I do want each and every single person outside of Lisa's daughter to know that it's a gift to have a minute, I think, of life. It's a gift to have an able body. It's a gift to have all that you have. And God, I hope you realize that. I do. It's so important, and enjoy that. Not just realize it, but, like, go out there and enjoy it. Okay, yeah, I have a massive C-section scar from, like, here to here. It's like, love it. I had a foot surgery. I've had all kinds of things that happened to me, and every single one has a story. Is it optics? Is it what we thought would be perfect? No, not on paper, not what they said, or visually on social media or in magazines. It's not what they said would be perfect. I was never aiming to be. It just I'm just grateful to be here. And I want more people to understand that you are so loved. The way that you feel, you are not alone. Mm-mm. And if you need to breathe for a second before you think any one bad thought about yourself, take a look outside of yourself. Like, look around. Look around. Everybody's different. It's the beauty. It's the actual beauty everyone's missing, in my humble opinion. All of this is based on my opinion, I guess, because we don't have Anna here. I think it's really important to note, though. Daniela, do you have anything to add? He's got me like on a ledge here. Hi. Do you have anything to add? Body positive. Oh, you're a dude. Come into camera view, please, while we're waiting for Anna. Like, what is it like for a man? Well, I want to answer Lisa from Chicago's question about her daughter's feeling depressed. We have to start talking more about this. I want to crack it wide open because the amount, all of this, you guys, all these statistics sent me in a mental spiral that only Daniela could really speak to, because we cannot have this. We can't feel this way. We just can't. There has to be more talking to each other, more connecting to each other, more understanding that we all feel the same feelings. I don't care. Whatever size, shape, or form, there's only so many emotions you can have, and I can guarantee you everybody's feeling them. So can we all just agree on that? Hold this girl, Lisa, for me. Give her a big, big hug. And tell her that she's so beautiful. That needs to happen. I'm sure you do, actually, but like, from me. How about just from me, if it matters? I'd love to get more questions from you guys on the topic if you have them. Body positivity, such weird words together. It's like, sounds like a Target ad, right? It's kind of like, it's like kind of cheeky, but it's important to just adore each other's flaws and like get to know them, the stories behind them, like flaws or whatever, you know? Because of social media, in my opinion, it has been such a well, Forbes says it's a huge problem. I agree. I think it's a huge problem. It's made everyone feel like if their life doesn't look like that, if you can't do that, if you're not that, it affects every single one of us. And now we're like mean to each other. That's why going back to the bullying question. You don't know how to identify your feelings. You feel like you're not enough, you're not good, you're mad and all of that. And then you take it out on someone else, and that person feels like that, and that's the result of that. No, it can't continue that way without understanding that everyone feels these ways just all day long. Only for your waking hours every day. My God, Lisa and Richard, we're gonna get smarter answers to the military bullying question, and also Anna's experience with anorexia and suggestions, because I'm, again, just another person, but I just want to talk about it with you. She's not here. John from Miami, worried about his daughter. Oh, my Lanta. Whew. Asking the tough questions. All right, fine. Worried about his daughter, who's very young and has a boyfriend. She wants to be sexy and keep up with the norm. Remember when we talked about feelings? Like, this is one of the ones where you just like want to run away and hide, because all of a sudden I'm thinking about how I have all these children, and it's hard to address. The thing about when I was a kid, I think having a solid example, maybe they all actually intertwine. Like the question of Lisa from Chicago and her daughter feeling, being anorexic and depressed, and bullying and all of that, they all tie into each other. These things are so hard to talk about, guys, but I'm gonna do it. If you pinky swear me that you're gonna start talking about your feelings to each other and just identifying it, and God, don't be the one that's like, "Hi, Karen, I'm good. How are you?" Good. If you're not good, say, it's not really my favorite day. It's suboptimal. There are many other ways of saying it. Reach out and say that so that we don't have to do all of this. It just absolutely shatters me. So if my girls, no, let's go back to when I was a kid. If I had a solid foundation, I think that was just it was just the norm for me at home or in life. If I had that base where I was just appreciated and like loved, just like that, just the way that I am, scars and all of the things we just talked about, comfortable and safe there. I don't know if I would have felt sometimes not good enough. I'd always be able to revert back mentally and emotionally to the times and place where I know that people love me for just exactly who I am. Having that consistency is and there's no handbook on parenting. They do not come with a handbook, folks. That's just what I wanted. And that's all I know so far. So that's what I try to provide at home. I don't know, John from Miami, how old your daughter is. And I don't know exactly what to say, but if I were her, I would like to very much hear on a consistent, don't go too crazy with it. You can't just like pop off on one day and be like, you're perfect. I love you just the way you are. And then leave it there. It has to be steady. And you have to be able to give them that concrete, solid home base of, okay, so you made a mistake. That's well, what did we talk about last night? When one of my kids was like, "I made a mistake," I was like, "I know, I made a mistake the other day. You wanna hear about it?" And we shared. We shared. It's okay. Can we all just take a deep breath and say it's okay? That helps. And then with consistency and that kind of behavior, I feel like, God, that's what I wish I had when I was probably your daughter's age, is just the freedom to make mistakes, the safety in being able to trust you if I needed to tell you what I was feeling or that I made a mistake or that I'm mad as hell, so that I can have the other side of it when the success, like the good things happen, it feels even better because I know you love me just the same. It's just the same. But tell her also, John, I mean, I'm just trying to like wants to be sexy. She's probably gorgeous. Okay, please don't get me started on this. I think that girls need to also understand that you're the one holding all the keys. I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but you know what I mean. You got you got it on lock. If and I know this, I've definitely loved and not been loved back or not the right way. And it confuses you. So maybe if someone just needed to hear that I've had that experience too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. And it hurts like hell, you know? But it's not a reflection of you. It's actually not. If you can say to yourself that you did everything you possibly could, you tried, you were consistent in your behavior, you were good, honest, and true. It's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of the way they feel about themselves. And I know that doesn't feel any better at night if you miss someone because you love them so much. But being sexy or whatever that means, or like wearing less clothing or like flaunting it around, that is not actually um, gonna make you feel any better. And I'm again just a humble opinion here. I I'm sorry, John. I think that maybe you should take her shopping for some big baggy jeans and sweatshirts. I don't know. Maybe we need different role models. I I hurt so much for this age group when I was reading all the statistics and the impetus really for this conversation on the topic of depression where no one's talking about such an important, such a prevalent silent killer. And the numbers just they don't make sense because I feel like if we were able to discuss how natural it is to feel all these different ways more freely, um, we could bring these numbers down really quickly. But the age group 18 to 24, we gotta watch out for them, guys. My heart bleeds for them. The impetus for this was actually from one of my like dearest friends and their friends. After a few write-ins on the topic, suicide. All of these numbers, a lot of them, they end in suicide. And maybe if we just told each other that we're in pain more often, or we're feeling what we're feeling more often, those numbers could come down too. Like, I'm sorry for anyone who has never had anyone tell them that what they're feeling is normal. It's freaking normal. That's why we did the hand raising thing of like, have you ever been angry? Yes, we all have. I wish I could hug every single person who feels like they don't have that. I also have really needed a hug. A lot of times when I was by myself. When I didn't have that. You're not alone in that feeling either. So, why are you guys not asking me questions? There's no more, like, we have all these other questions, but I feel like, guys, please. Anna, where are you? I'm by myself. Daniela, can you please weigh in on your thoughts on anything that I just said? Come. Yeah, because I want a male's perspective on those things. No, come around.
Should we take a break and see where she is?
Take a break? Okay. Like a 30-second break to see if Anna has landed on her delayed flight. Just 30 to 60 seconds. Let's set a timer. Yeah, we're on it. We will be. How do you do it?
Boom, boom.
What? Wait, are we back on both of them? Okay, hi. Thank you guys so much. So Anna I don't think she's landed yet. I'm so sorry. So we're gonna have to postpone that part. I don't know if you guys know about these things, but planes, trains, and automobiles, they don't always work out just as planned. Unless I'm flying in them. No. There's just obstacles. So Anna is going to have to reschedule because of this delayed flight situation. I did want to, as always, it's extremely important to me to show up when I say I will and to talk about the hard things that, honestly, this one, I was terrified to talk about. And that in itself was interesting to me. If I'm horrified to even explore those dark places of my mind or learn more about what other people are feeling because it hurts so much, then maybe that's just exactly what we should be talking about. I really wish you guys would ask me some questions. Otherwise, regardless, either way, we're going to have Anna back on when her feet are on the ground. How do you see the questions here, Daniela? As always, I'm deeply humbled that any one person would want to hear me talk about my thoughts on these questions all of these many questions that people sent in that flooded the gaskets and made it so we couldn't log on right when we wanted to. Wow. Talk to me. God, I love it. And thank you for entrusting me with that. That's why I open up with my own personal experience if I don't have, as I was not planning to do, if my guest does not make it on Pivot. And worst case, maybe it's just that we relate to each other. How bad could it be? I will let you know as soon as she actually lands, when that we will reschedule that. And if there's any one person out there tonight who is feeling, as we're talking about the topic of depression and despair, I think is the word that I actually almost said, you're not alone. Not at all, actually. Certain things, it's hard, guys. It's hard for everybody in different ways, but it all comes from the same emotions. And the more we band together, the more we relate to each other, or we at least accept each other's presence with the understanding that there's only so many feelings you can feel. We all have them. Maybe that person's feeling this way. And the more we talk about it and we're honest with each other, I hope you do that. But if you're feeling depressed tonight, you are not alone. I read a whole slew of things on it. You are not alone, but you do not have to end up in these statistics. You don't. You do not. Maybe you just want to see what's around the next corner. I've found that actually in the hardest of times where I was like, well, it's a good thing though. Like I didn't just jump. Like look what came around the corner. Just one foot in front of the other. You don't have to make it a big move. I am not a doctor or a therapist. I'm just another human feeling big feelings too. So if you just one foot in front of another. In through your nose, out through your mouth. That's it. Maybe that's all you did today. Awesome. Let's do it again tomorrow. Maybe we add one more thing. Or maybe we do that in a couple days. But you don't have to end up in this. statistic trash. Okay? I'm here for your hard questions. And I do hope that you send me more. Thank you for spending your evening with me. Honestly, I'm deeply humbled that you would. I hope I did right by all of you, Richard, Lisa, and John. The questions that we got to, well, I did. I mean, I don't know if I answered them, but I will save them for when we reschedule with Anna and all the rest of the other ones too. Okay? Thank you guys. I hope you have a good night. Wait, how do you... Are we doing it? Like, is this thing on? It's still on. Look, it's still on. Look at us. We don't even know how to turn it off. We're absurd. Like, no, look at us. Wave to all the people.